Connie, you ready?
I guess so. Is my mic on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay. You know you're the only person I would do this for.
I appreciate it.
Cause listen, I'm nervous. I'm sweating. I gotta think of my words. Gotta ask some questions. Okay. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, I personally am honored that you asked me to be a part of your birthday and to celebrate in this way because you are one of the most inspiring, most forward-thinking people that I know. And so for you to get out there and share your voice for your birthday, I know that the world's going to be blessed by whatever you have to say. So thank you.
Again, appreciate it. Gratitude.
Yeah. So for those who do not know who you are, why don't we start by telling a little bit about you as a person?
As a person?
Yeah.
Well, I am a husband. I am a father. I am of course, a son. Single parent raised. Come from a large family, both sides of my family.
Yeah.
My mother's mother had 10 children, 7 girls, 3 boys. And then on my father's side, for anybody that was born and raised in this area, know anything about Northwest Indiana, Chicago area, you might have heard of the Ballards. So we're everywhere. So, huge family.
Huge family. Yes, we know the Ballards and everybody in between. So you definitely have strong roots in the city.
Yeah.
Today, this week on Wednesday, you'll turn 50.
Yes.
And one of the things that I am most interested in hearing about, or you sharing about, is your story, your legacy, what has brought you from where you've been to where you've come. But I want to just chop it up like we do when we sit at the kitchen table, because that's one of my favorite things to do is just sit at the kitchen table and just talk about life and experiences.
Okay.
And so hopefully we could just talk through a little bit about where you have been and where you're going.
Cool.
So,
I'm cool with it.
So let's start with this question. What would your 25-year-old self say to you right now?
My 25-year-old self say to me right now,
Yeah.
man, just chill out and enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Don't worry about nothing. Don't worry so much. Get to know the Lord, you know? Because then I wasn't so much thinking about that, you know, just living off a wing and a prayer, as they say.
Yes.
yeah, you're just surviving off the prayers of my mother and my brother at the time. So, yeah, I would say, man, get to know the Lord right now. It'll bless you so much more later. But I don't regret nothing either.
No.
You know, because everything happens in God's perfect time.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And so you've lived, and I'm going to say it this way, 2 different lives, right? You've had.
I have.
Pre the Lord and post the Lord.
Correct.
But you've always been raised, you know, to know Him.
Yes.
But you haven't always necessarily gone down that path.
Correct.
And so why don't you share a little bit about that journey spiritually and how you went from, you know, doing your own thing and then deciding like, I'm giving my life to God and I'm going to make the best of my life for the rest of my life.
Wow, it's a heavy question. It's good too. But I would just say that, like I said, my grandmother had 10 kids, so we was all raised under one roof. We didn't necessarily go to church, but Grandma had this big Bible on the kitchen table, on the living room table. You know, those big King James Bibles. You know, with the gold papers. You know, and when you open it, you had the pictures and everything. So that Bible stayed on the living room table. So I was born in a house that knew the Lord. Like I said, Grandma raised all of us. So everybody in the house called Grandmama Mama.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just natural for me and my brother and my first cousin to call Grandmama Mama. Yeah. My mother never corrected us, which is the reason why I call her by her first name today, Emma.
Yep.
Right? But she knows that she's my heart. She knows that I love her, and I do anything for her. So that was never a hindrance in our relationship because I called her by her first name. She knew it. It's like what's understood don't need to be explained.
That's right.
That's just how we was raised. But just growing up in that household, and my father stayed on the next block, up the street. So I had two grandmothers on the same street, just different blocks. I would walk up the street, me and my brother, we go see Big Mama. And that's my father's mother. So we were always spend weekends over there. And Big Mama, on the other hand, was a firecracker. She went to church every Sunday. But she'll pull that shotgun out. and she'll cut you out like crazy. And she always had that deep freezer in the garage that was full of candy. Not candy, but like ice cream for the grandkids. So just in that dynamic, and my father being heavily in the streets, which caused us to lose him early.
Yep.
I was 12 years old when he passed, so it kind of left me out there to kind of fend for myself, right? So as a young man, 12 years old, my brother 8 at the time, somewhere around there, I took it hard. Yeah. I took it hard. I kind of like dove off into the street, but at the time it wasn't gang banging. It was more like me just trying to fill that void. So I played all type of sports. Got into baseball, got into basketball, got into football. Liked football, didn't like baseball at all.
Yeah.
Standing out there in that hot sun. Loved basketball, so that's what really drew me to sports. And all of my friends, we all played bitty ball, we played school ball, and kind of just fell in love with it. But what I knew I was missing is being raised by a single mom. I didn't have nobody to come to my games or practices like a lot of my friends had or some of my classmates. So that was a big void too, just constantly going to games and practices and really having no support because my mom was at work.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
she had to
bills to
work.
pay.
Yeah, she had bills to pay, right?
That's right.
So going through that, and then having other friends who was in the same kind of growing up in the same conditions as me, we just kind of like I don't know, kind of fell by the wayside with the sports, and just got to hanging out with each other in the street. And when the street life, a lot came with that.
Yeah.
So I dodged a lot of bullets, literally and figuratively.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, thank you, Lord. So, but by the time I got to high school, my mother and my brother started to go to church. Okay. This is where the turnaround began to happen during my high school years. They started going to church, and I don't know if you know, but when people first come to know the Lord and get saved, man, they want to tell everybody about it. Not only do they want to tell everybody about it, but they want to tell you what you're doing wrong. So just going through that experience, and which is a great thing too, because when you get to know the Lord and you start to share your story with people, you start to share your testimony or your story of salvation. It might seem like the person is not listening, not paying no attention. They might be combative, debate with you at first or whatever, but those seeds be planted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They be planted and they get watered. At the time, I had every excuse in the world not to hear about the Lord. Not to go to church. Every excuse. I didn't have nothing to wear. I don't have the right shoes.
Yeah.
Every excuse in the book. But one day those excuses ran out. And, I was like, okay, I'll go to church with you. So I went to church with her. During this time, some years that went past, I had met my wife now. We was dating in high school. So a couple years that went by, and we like seniors now. And she was at the house when I finally surrendered and was like, okay, we'll go to church. I asked her, she said, yeah, we go. So we ended up going to church with them that evening, and there was a lady there that was prophesying.
Mm.
A lady there that was telling everybody about their life and what God said. And I'm just listening to this lady. This is my first time in an environment like this, and this is one of those small churches, right, where, you know, there's a whole lot of yelling, there's a whole lot of screaming, there's a whole lot of crying. The older ladies will get up and maybe do a lap around the church. Run through the church. It was that type of church. And she was prophesying and just telling everybody about their life and what God said. And from the reactions of these people, you can tell that she was telling the truth. These people was falling out. They was screaming. They was thank you, God, and hallelujah. It was everything. And then I noticed that the lady looked in our direction. And when she looked at our direction, she said, and you. She started walking toward us. And I'm looking around like, who's she talking to? She said, and you. She walked up to my mother. She said, you pray for your sons every night. She said, the Lord want me to tell you that you can relax. You don't have to worry about them. He want me to tell you that he got them. He said they're going to grow up to be fine men of God. They're his. He said he's going to have a wife of his own and the children, pointing to my brother. She said, and this one, if the Lord wanted him dead, he would have been gone a long time ago. And he knows it. And I just put my head down because what nobody knew at the time was, I think like a week prior, my car had just got shot up from bumper to bumper. And I was in the car. Not only was I in the car, but 2 other people was in the car with me. And I'm talking about big slugs in my car from bumper to bumper, front to back. And bullet holes all in my car on my driver's side where I was sitting, and nobody was hit. Nobody was hit. It was to the point where when I opened my door, you can hear the slugs in my door panel like rattle. So she had me there. I dropped my head. I was like, oh my God. And I raised my head up. She was like, she said, plus, he's going to be around. He has to be around for this little seed growing in his belly right here. She put her hand on Demeter's stomach. Now, mind you, we was trying to figure out, one of the reasons why she was at my house, we was trying to figure out how to tell our parents that she was pregnant.
You got told on at church?
Yeah. 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 The lady told on us. and that was my first experience with the supernatural, right?
Yeah.
I was like, man, that was nobody but God. So you can imagine the quietness on the ride home. And I'm not even sure how Demeter mom ended up finding out. I think we end up having to tell her.
You got to tell her now.
Yeah, we got to tell her. It was, you know, cat out of the bag.
Yes.
You know, that pressure was alleviated because we was trying to figure out how to tell.
Yeah.
But God told everybody.
In public.
Through this woman. Yeah. But that was a powerful seed planted that evening. Yeah. That evening. I knew at that point. Not that I ever have a memory that I ever doubted, but I knew at that point without a shadow of a doubt God is real.
Yeah. So knowing, you realize like God is real. You started coming up to this, and you decide that obviously you're gonna have a baby. Mm-hmm. You're going to, end up eventually getting married. Tell us about the journey that you had when you decided that I will be the man that's going to be a father and to be a husband. Because that's something that for a long time you didn't necessarily want or think that was going to be your direction. Yeah. And then you decided, like, I'm going to make a decision and take care of my family. What was that like?
So being a father came first because, like I said, that was in high school. That was like July 1994 when we had Brittany. And we just came out of high school June, like a month prior, right? So I remember being scared, not knowing, I'm like, man, I'm not even a man yet, really. I'm still in school, just got out of school. uh, what does it, how I'm going to take care of a baby. I'm trying to figure out how to take care of myself, right?
Right.
Scared. Um, Lost my father when I was young, so I really didn't have an example in my face of what were the responsibilities of a father.
Mm-hmm.
But I did have, and what I kind of built the foundation on is what I knew I didn't have, and what I wished I would have had. A strong support system, a man that was there for his family, a man that was a man of his word. Like if I said something, I was going to see it all the way through. So I had what I didn't have, and no digs to my father. Like I said, I was young, and he left before a pivotal time in my life when I was a preteen.
Yeah.
A preteen.
Yeah.
We never had a man-to-man talk. He never talked to me about relationships or girls or even threw a football with me outside. So we never had none of those moments. So I knew what I didn't have. So I kind of built on that foundation. How can I be there for my child and make sure that I'm there? Just before I even knew she was going to be my wife in the future. That was something else God had figured out.
Yeah.
Because I was raised not to trust women, to be honest with you. I had a cousin who walked the street, and people called him crazy because all he did was walk the street and laugh. Just like the average person see anybody walking the street all the time, and their clothes not really clean, and they talking a little gibberish, laughing at everything. We think those people crazy, but everybody got a story.
That's right.
So I found out his story at a young age, just listening to the people in my family talk. Well, he had a wife and kids. Great job. Worked in the mill. One day, he came home from the mill. His wife and kids wasn't at home. By the time he found and caught up with his wife, he found out that she had skipped town with his kids and his best friend.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so they left and started a new life together, and left him there, and that drove him, to where it drove him.
Yeah.
So just knowing his story and just hearing all the men in my life at that time, not to trust a woman, never trust a woman. And I had these feelings before I even got into or fell in love with hip hop.
Yeah.
So ironic, the first group that I fell in love with in hip hop was Ghetto Boys. Gangsta Love.
Yeah.
Let a Hoe Be a Hoe. Songs like that. And I'm like, I used to love them songs.
Yeah.
We kind of tend to like what we agree with. Or what's familiar to us. So those were my records. NWA came, Too Short came. I used to love all them guys. And it kind of like fed into what I always was being fed. Yeah. Right? What I kind of believed in. And it wasn't until older when I look back in retrospect and realized that in my neighborhood at the time, it was actually a neighborhood, a community that we really don't have no more. That's why we call it a hood now, because we're not neighborly at all.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We're not neighborly at all. But it wasn't until I got older and looked back then and realized that I did have elders in my hood, in my neighborhood, that was married, sprinkled out throughout the block. I had the Stearns, Mr. and Mr. Anderson, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, just all type of couples in my neighborhood that portrayed the image of a healthy marriage. But I didn't have a front row seat to it.
Yeah.
I didn't really see how they interacted with each other on a day-to-day. So, but looking back, I see that there were healthy there was marriages in my community. But I just didn't see it at home. My oldest uncle, the oldest son that my grandmother had, my mother's brother, he got married to his high school sweetheart. But they moved out of the house and moved to South Bend. So it was seasonal, you know, every few months or summertime where I would go out there and spend time with them. So, like I said, I didn't have a healthy view of marriage. Um, so I was a hard cookie to crack. But the Lord put this woman in my life um, that I knew deep down in my heart loved me.
Yeah.
She was a ride or die from the beginning.
Mm.
And I knew that. And I think every man knows deep down in their heart when they got a good woman.
Yeah. Well, she is a good woman. And she is one of my best friends. So I love the life that y'all have built and the life that you have been able to show Brittany what love looks like and relationship looks like amongst, you know, the world. And, you know, there's a lot of divorce and there's a lot of separation, but you guys just show such a solid foundation that she could look to. I'm going to switch gears for a little bit.
Okay.
So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that you feel have changed you to be the person that you are. So I'm going to go down a list. A little bit of a list.
All right.
Okay. We'll start with time. How do you spend your time now? You're 50 years old. You told me how you spent your time back in the day. You were out in the streets doing what you weren't supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
But at 50, what does time look like? How do you spend it?
How do I spend my time now?
Yeah.
I spend my time with my family, people I love. I spend a lot of time with God. I bathe in gratitude. Just being thankful.
Yeah.
I stand on the shoulders of a lot of giants too.
Mm-hmm.
When I was young, there was a lot of older people in the neighborhood that took me like under their wing for whatever reason. They let me hang. Probably half my friends when I was young coming up was 4 or 5 years older than me.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time just being grateful, spending time with the people that I love, people that matter. A lot of people that I've been friends with for so many decades, I consider them family too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got a lot of partners that became brothers of mine.
Yeah.
Because of what we've been through.
Yes.
And because we were one way then and we're a different way now. And giving God all that glory. So I spend a lot of time just cherishing every moment and not taking a moment for granted.
Love that. How do you spend towards your health?
Health?
Mm-hmm.
Well, mental health. I don't fear anything. A fear of death used to be a real fear of mine.
Ooh.
A real fear.
We got to stop right there. Tell us why you were scared of death. Was it just because of the life you were living, or did something happen?
Well, it was the life I was living. A few instances like when me being shot in the car, that's trauma, right?
Yeah.
But I had this thing inside of me that I felt like because my father passed when he was 33, that I wasn't going to live to see 33.
Yeah.
Or I was going to pass at 33. It was like without getting too spiritual, it was like a voice like, you know, when you're a young man, the goal for any young man growing up in the hood is to make it to 21.
Yeah.
And after I made it to 21, that big milestone, now these whispers in my ear talking about you're not going to make it to 33 though. Mm-hmm. So imagine my year when I was 33, like
right, looking over your shoulder,
looking over my shoulder, right, and my father passed at 33. So that was a big fear of mine.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I surrendered, stopped running from the Lord, and let Him transform my life He took away that fear.
Mm-hmm. So that's your mental.
Mm-hmm.
What about physically?
Physically, I'm still active. I still work out. Got a full gym downstairs.
Yeah.
Elliptical, weights, everything. Bike. I try to run. I try to watch what I eat. Mm-hmm. I'm real health conscious on what I eat. Had some digestive issues in my life, so things that I used to eat or drink, Okay, I can't mess with that. Like for instance, I don't drink milk. Um, I drink more almond milk, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I want some milk, I don't. What else? I don't drink sodas because I'm trying to watch my sugar intake.
Mm-hmm.
Not diabetic or nothing, thank God. But I know that too much sugar is bad for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm real health conscious. I try to watch what I put in my body. You know it's funny that we buy cars and like I got a car now that I don't put nothing but the mid grade gas in the car. I never put regular in this car.
Yeah.
Regular gas. I never put 87 in this car. As long as I had this car for a few years now. So I don't put junk gas, but we put junk food in our bodies.
Yes.
And we way more valuable
Yes.
than cars.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I try to be health conscious.
Yeah. You actually inspired us with the No Beats, No Sweets challenge.
Yeah.
I didn't eat meat for a month. That was the worst month of my life.
Was it?
It was. It was hard, but I felt good. And
You
it
felt
was,
good?
It was worth it. It was worth it.
Yeah.
So that's your mental, your health, how you spend your time. What about your purpose? How do you feel like you spend your purpose at 50?
My purpose?
Well, first, what is your purpose? What do you feel like you've been put on this earth to do?
I think my purpose is to pour back into the youth, specifically young men,
Mm-hmm.
but not necessarily only young men, but just don't be shy about my testimony and my story, and point to the one who have all the answers
Yeah.
to our problems, all the answers to our questions. It's just to point people back to Him. Like I seen God change the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? And not only do I have that experience of Him transforming me, but I've seen Him change many, many different people, and I know the answer to people's questions and problems. So my purpose is just to point people to Him through whatever gift that He's given me, and that's through music, through whatever I write, with my pen, just using my voice and my testimony and stories to point people to Him.
So music is a big part of you, and we chop it up about music a lot. Tell us about how music currently is influencing where you are in life. I know that you've had some recording expertise. You've done some things in the background, producing songs.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see music in your life right now?
Music always will be a big part of my life because it's who I am, right? But now it's more of the type of music that I allow to feed me that makes all the difference in the world. Even when it's just listening to music, when I'm working out or when I'm doing whatever, cleaning up, I'm listening to music. Like I listen to a lot of Christian hip hop. I listen to a lot of worship music or praise music. It just changes the atmosphere. If you're worried about something, if you're stressed about anything, it just alleviates. It changed the whole atmosphere. It's just everything that you was feeling and thinking, it changes and just changes our focus on not how big our problems are or our issues, but how big our God is.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And just doing that changes the day.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps me with the music that I write as well.
Yeah.
Because I write with that purpose that I know what my purpose is. Even if I'm writing from a street perspective, I know how to use my artistry now to use my testimony for a greater good, and not to point somebody in the wrong direction.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm more conscious of what I feed and what I put out.
So that's a gift that you get to give back to the world.
Yeah.
What are some of the best gifts you've ever received?
Oh, some of the best gifts I ever received. True love. I can say I experienced that.
Yeah.
True love. Authenticity.
Yes. Somebody
just being real, genuine. Like I prefer people like that. I don't just agree with everything I say.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I love to have the hard conversation.
Yes.
I'm different from most people in the world today where they can't have a hard conversation, where they got to cut you off because you don't feel like them or see the world like them.
Yeah.
I actually like the hard conversations, so I appreciate people being authentic in their selves, and being able to hear people out. And I'm good for having a hard, tough debate.
Oh, I know.
And then I'll raise up my glass and toast like, man, salute.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was fun. I'll see you next week. Yeah.
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 Many debates around the kitchen table.
Yeah. And this water, by the way, y'all.
So, at 50 also, I know one of the gifts that you've been given is the gift of being a grandfather.
Yeah.
And that little legend.
Yeah. That's my little man.
Yeah. So tell us about your relationship and your role now that, you're halfway through. I'm saying halfway through because you'll live at least to be 100. You're halfway through life, and now you have this little one that's looking up to you, and he's seeing you out of new eyes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they say the grandkids get the love the kids should have got because it's so pure, because you don't have to have them all the time. What do you think Legend will learn from you?
Oh, I would hope. I would hope that when he's around me, that he feels the love. He feels everything that I said that I appreciate, right? Authenticity, love. That he knows his granddad is a man of his word. Yeah. But I'm hoping he will learn from me, walking alongside with his dad, that what a real man is. From me, his dad, and his other granddad, but from me specifically, what a man is, to always be respectful, honorable, always honor thy mother and father, because even me as a grown man today, my mother she get the utmost respect from me. Right or wrong, utmost. And I don't see that a lot in today's generation, but I want him to know that his mother should always get the utmost respect. If anybody can pull your card, your mother should be able to without you trying to buck up to her. Also to chase after your dreams. I want him to learn to, chase after his dreams, whatever he feel like he was put here for, and grow to be a man that protects and provides, and God fearing. Because you can be all of that without being God fearing and not knowing that there's somebody more powerful than you that you got to answer to. You can still be lost and still not be a man.
That's right.
Right.
In terms of your daughter, Brittany, what do you want her to know your legacy as?
A man that loved his family. Loved his family, not just who she had in her household, but the entire family. A man that don't hold no grudges. I'm human like everybody else, but I lean on. I know nobody is perfect, so I lean on the only one who is to constantly make me strong and cleanse my heart. Yes. I know what it feels like to hold grudges. I know what it feels like to cut people off because I just did it naturally. Yeah. You don't mess with me, I don't mess with you. Yeah. Stay that way. Yeah. I can walk past you like you didn't exist. But that's weighty if we're honest with ourselves. Yes. Every time somebody come around or you hear that person's name to feel some type of way and think negative, that's weighty. Yeah. But to just let it go and let God, when he say vengeance is mine, said the Lord. Just trust that and believe it. Just believe it. Leave them in God's hands. But forgive them and always treat them with respect and love. You do the right thing. Yeah. Just because they do the wrong thing don't make it okay for you to do the wrong thing. So I just want her to know that her daddy had pure heart.
Yeah.
For those, especially for those people he loved.
I would say this. Obviously, we've been friends for 20 years. We did the math. 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And over that time, you've always been genuine and authentic and always show love to everybody. An open door for everybody. Always making people feel that you were a safe place to go to. What were your safe places that you found along the way throughout your struggle?
Along the way?
Yeah.
Some of my friends' houses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm close to a lot of my partners' mothers to this day. And some of their mothers have passed and gone on. And I mourned when they mourned.
Yeah.
For years, for a long time. Like, because their mother, when I went to their house and just say they wasn't there, man, their mother would open the door and offer me something to eat. I sit at the table or sit in the living room, watch TV until they came home. That's just how welcoming a lot of my friends, which became my brothers, mothers were. So that was my safe place growing up. Just the people that God connected me with, the community, whether it was over there on Wilson Street in BIC or Roosevelt Street when we finally moved out of Grandmama's house.
Yeah.
When my mama moved to Roosevelt Street in 2-1. So just the Lord surrounded me with some great individuals. Mm-hmm. Right. So those were my safe places early on. Mm-hmm. Now my safe places, of course, with my other half.
Yeah. So tell us about your other half. How does she, who is she to you? What about her has made your life so much better?
She's a lot of things to me. She's my balance. Mm-hmm. She's definitely my ride or die. True story, y'all. She probably don't want me telling this story. It's funny too because this is just an example or a testament to one part of her, to how we just like Bonnie and Clyde in some instances. We was at the house before we stayed here years back. We was at one of our homes and somebody was knocking on the door, and I looked out the peephole and I didn't recognize the person. So I'm like, who is this? All I saw was the top of their head. Like, who is this? And I was finna open the door. She said, hold on, wait a minute. And she ran to the back room, came back, and she had my pistol. And she gave it to me. She said, now open the door. And I opened the door.
Yeah.
It turned out to be our neighbor from across the street. I just couldn't see him through that little peephole, but
she stayed ready.
Yeah, I laughed about that so hard. Because usually that's me.
Yes.
That's me. But I wasn't on point at that time. She had my back. But on the other hand, she's my prayer warrior, my prayer partner. We pray all the time, every day, early in the morning. We have our moments. A lot of times, sometimes in the evening, but most of the time, every morning we pray. We pray for our family. We pray for our friends. We pray for our day. Yeah. So she's a lot of things to me. Yeah.
One of a kind.
Genuine. You know, one of those people that love on everybody, that want everybody to have their flowers while they can still smell them. Mm-hmm. You know. Yeah.
So this year, you've rounded out 49.
Yeah.
What are some of the highlights of this year?
So, me and the missus went out of the country for the first time this year. We went to Jamaica with a lot of people we've known forever, 20, 30-year relationships. About 20 plus of us went out of the country. So that was one. Got to walk my daughter down the aisle. She got married in March. Not only walk her down the aisle, but also officiate the wedding. By far, that's not my most brightest moment of the year, but probably in my life right now.
Yeah. So you're standing there
top.
at the altar.
Yeah.
And you are officiating over your daughter's wedding.
Yeah.
How did that feel? What are the thoughts going through your mind in that moment?
It felt surreal. It felt like, man, I'm really doing this.
Yeah.
But God is amazing too, because there was no way I was thinking about getting ordained or trying to do that unless I was asked by my daughter.
Yeah.
Because on my own, I was like, I'm running away from this call or whatever whatever everybody else say. You should be doing this. You gonna be a preacher. I don't know yet.
Right.
I don't know. So I've been running and all this, but God orchestrated in such a way that, son, I'm gonna get you up here one way or
another.
So when they asked me, and then to come to find out it was more so his idea, that was special too.
Very.
That was special too. I already know how my baby girl feel about me.
Yeah.
But to find out that was his idea, he was like, if I feel like somebody we know should marry us, and I don't think there's a better person than your father.
Special.
Yeah.
Special.
Yeah. So I found out everything I could find out of what I needed to do to make it official.
Yeah.
And that was, like I said, that's probably the highlight of my life right now.
That's a beautiful highlight. I think it's interesting how in life there are moments that bring you into a calling, right?
Yeah.
It kind of forces you into that.
Yeah.
I'm running away from this. Oh no, you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to do this.
Yeah.
You talked about mentoring too.
Right.
Tell me more about some of the things that you're doing as far as mentorship goes. I mean, I know personally, but I know the people who are with us don't really know about the things that you do to mentor the youth and some adults.
Well, I've been the head of the men's ministry for some years now. I've been a part of a men's ministry for probably a decade between Bethel Gary and Flourish Church. But between the ending years of Bethel Gary and now Flourish, I've probably been the head of men's ministry for, I would say, at least three of those years. Yeah. It's been a blessing to just gather with guys and talk about life. Not only about not only about having biblical studies, but actually talking about what it means to be a real man of God, what it means to be a husband, a father, and just pray for each other, pour into each other, people that need advice, just to be there and just lift each other up, because what the words say, iron sharpens iron, right? Mm-hmm. So just sharpening one another. And also I've been blessed probably since last year to go into Crown Point Jail. At first just being one of Dexter's guys that come and support him. Yeah. And like I said, since last year, just being in part of that schedule, that rotation, to be a speaker, to be in there and to come and motivate and encourage and preach the word to the men in there, and just seeing so many men of different ages and ethnic backgrounds together and be hungry for the Lord in that space is very humbling and amazing. I actually love when I'm actually a part of that.
I definitely
whether I'm speaking or not.
Yeah. Encouragement is one of your big gifts. You are a natural encourager for people.
Yeah.
You really are. I want to ask, how would you recommend somebody who's struggling to encourage themselves? Like, what would you say? You've mentored, you've led, you've coached people, but when somebody's in the trenches and they don't feel a way out,
yeah,
what could they do to encourage themselves?
I think you gotta have positive self-talk. Yeah. You know, you gotta shut down those negative thoughts in your head. Whatever it is, whatever you're going through, you gotta, I think, knowing who God is, right? And knowing who God is in terms let you know how God feels about you, and what He feels about issues, and the relationship of being honest. Like, you can just give it to Him, whatever it is, raw. And we talked about music too. Mm-hmm. Music plays a big part in your mental health and spiritual health.
Yeah.
You got to listen to the right music. You know, when you want to encourage yourself, you listen to music that talks about not only how good God is, but how great He is and how He's a miracle worker, a waymaker, right? Because He is. You got to feed yourself those thoughts, and know that the negative thoughts is not coming from Him at all. You got anxiety, learn how to give it to Him. You got fear, know He didn't give you the spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. He wants us to have peace. He's the Prince of Peace. So we go to Him for that. So I would say to anybody, it starts in your own mind. They call it the battlefield of the mind, because in the mind you have thoughts that come from you, but you also have thoughts that come from God. You have thoughts that come from the enemy and his camp, and you got to know how to decipher what's what and who's who. Once you know that by strengthening your relationship with God, because you're like, man, God wouldn't say that to me. God wouldn't have me feel like this and think like this. Right?
You make me think of, at the age of 50, how your gift of discernment must have sharpened so much over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just talk a little bit about that for us.
Yeah. I think before I was a man of God, I always had a discernment about me. Like, I feel like I'm a good judge of character. I know when people are not being themselves. I know when people are running game, telling you something that you want to hear, because I did it.
Yeah.
I know that. It's the phrase, game recognize game. I know game when I hear it. So I know when people putting up a facade. I know when somebody is trying to be tough or look tough, but they're not really tough. I have that's one of my gifts too, to be a good judge of character. And I found out that over the years, it's not just my gift; it's my wife's gift. She has a great gift of discernment. She knows. Like, she put me up on stuff that I didn't see or catch, and I'm like, and then when I'm like, okay, yeah, I see that. You're right. You're right about that. Yeah.
So it's almost time for our 50 minutes to be up, and this has been such a great conversation. But what I'd love for you to talk about last is, where do you see yourself now, and where are you going? So what does it look like 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line? What will it look like for you?
You know what? What's the saying? If you tell God your plans, He laughs.
Yes.
So right now, I took my hand off the steering wheel for a while now, for some years. I'm in the passenger seat, and I'm allowing Him to drive, right? And I'm trusting Him, because what I do know is I'm still evolving. I'm still changing. But one thing I would like to happen is over the next couple years, probably over the next year, I will add author to who I am also. Fly Rulers is a brand that is mine, and it was birthed out of frustration of me running in stores trying to find me something to wear, and I'm seeing death being promoted everywhere. All these skull heads and all these crazy sayings on people's shirts. So it started off as that, as a faith-based brand that basically let us know that we come from a long lineage of royalty. Kings and queens, all the way back to the King of Kings, right? To the Creator who made us in His image. And the original plan was for us to have dominion over Earth, which means to rule. Who said we can't be fly doing it? So I want to turn that. I'm turning that into a coaching book. So a coaching manual for fly rulers, because it's a mindset to rule over your environment, over your emotions. Because I've seen people let anger and all those things destroy their lives, their freedom or their life completely. They're not on earth anymore because of a moment of anger. So just to be a ruler through God, of course. Yeah. So that's where I see myself. Of course, making more music. That goes without saying. Taking my little man, he's 4 years old now, taking him by the hand and spending as much time as I can with him and pouring into him.
Yeah.
Right? Yep.
Anything else you feel like the world needs to know? The world needs to know it.
I live by a code. You know, in the street, they call it the G code, but I live by what I call the strict code now. The strict being, I like an acronym, S for safety, which also can be, self-control can be under that umbrella. T for team player, R for respect, I for integrity, C for community and compassion, and T, like I said in the beginning of this interview, T is for thankfulness, because I bathe in gratitude. So I live by a strict code. And something else you guys might not know, and I end it here, is, man, I used to have a hard, it was hard for me to cry. Now I cry almost about from anything. I can watch a good movie or a TV show and I'm tearing up crying. But I don't feel bad because I look over to my left or right, she crying too. We both crying together. But for me, I see a lot of beauty in the type of shows and movies that we watch that I don't see in the world. I see a lot of love and people going out of their way for family and supporting family, which I see should be happening here. And I only see it maybe a few families, but I don't see it often, so it makes me a little sad.
One word to describe the year moving forward. How do you want it to feel?
One word?
One word.
Exciting.
Exciting. We're going to end on that. Happy birthday, friend. Happy birthday. It's going to be an exciting year for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Several questions with death. Trouble came right and left. For some was easy, even prep to handle beef like a chef. I was blessed, so every day I celebrate every breath. Even though I told a toolie for unruly every step. Where I'm from, they trigger happy like Yosemite Sam. You never stared down the barrel of a pistol with a gun jam. I be kissed by God. Bullets riddled the whole car. Still me and my two partners jumped out without a sky. How could you turn this red devil to a man of God? Had me wishing for a new heart like it's the land of Oz. Nigga, I'm certified. Been in this game for years. Straight off the block, pistol pack, a banana, red and beer.